Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Sue.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about how much is your business worth and how do you sell it. So I'll start things off first with a couple of resources you can use. And even before we do that, actually, no, there's no even before you do that. Here, let me give you some resources right now. So there are a couple websites out there that help you with valuation. There's two that come to mind out the gate, and I'm going to pass it over to Neil. If you go to digitalexits.com, they have a bunch of different valuation calculators. There's a bunch of different infographics as well. And again, these are frames of reference. They're not exactly like the Bible, or I'm not religious, so let's not use the Bible, but the end all be all. So you can take a look at Digital Exits, and then there's another website called FEInternational.com. These are both website brokers, so they are going down the content marketing path, and they like to publish a lot of different content. These are only two starting resources. I'm starting with the brokers first, and there's a couple more that I have in mind, but I wanted to pass it over to you.
If you want to sell your website and you're not sure what it's worth, you can check out Empire Flippers or Flippa. The reason I like those sites is not only is there a place where you can go and sell, but you can also see what similar type of sites are worth. You may think that your site is worth 10x revenue or 50x profit or whatever the number is. If there's not a lot of other players who are willing to pay that, and you can see that on Flippa or Empire Flippers, you can then better price your product. So the brokers is one way. You can also use in real time just one of those marketplace type of sites like Flippa or Empire Flippers.
All right, so I got another one for you. Neil just jogged my memory a little bit. This one is BizBuySell.com. So it's very similar to the sites that we're talking about. You can look at Flippa, Empire Flippers, or you can look at FEInternational as well. They have a lot of inventory you can take a look at. And what I would do as well is look at, there's a couple private equity sites. And one that comes to mind is, let me find it. Neil, I'm going to pass it over to you while I find this website so I can give it to people.
Well, either way, the big question you have to ask yourself, if you have a business that's making any sort of money, the market is tanking, or at least it'll probably tank in the next 12 to 16, maybe 24 months. No one can control it. But a recession will approach, at least in the US. And this recession is going to be a global recession due to the bond market. In other words, companies are borrowing too much. Even individuals and consumers are borrowing too much money these days. And that's what's going to be the cause of this recession. At least that's what all the data shows. In general, though, the question is, do you want to sell during the peak and then buy back during a low point, or start something else? And then that way, at least you cashed out during the best time. Because when a recession does come, in general, it's going to be harder to make revenue or money because there's going to be less buyers, whether it's B2B or B2C.
Damn, I'm looking at the graphs right now for S&P. Anyway, the other site I found is called, the URL is Adventures, but here's how it is. It's adventure.es, okay? So Adventures, and this guy talks about, running a micro private equity firm, and then he has a lot of good wisdom in here, a lot of good resources that you can take a look at. If you're interested in buying businesses or selling businesses, valuing your business, I think the resources that we've given you so far are a really good start. Anything else?
Well, in addition to that, if you're contemplating whether you should sell it or not, whether your business is worth $1,000 or $1 million or $10 million, also ask yourself if you love it. Do you see this as a future? Do you see this as something in which 10 years from now you can still be doing, or 5 years from now? If you don't see any long-term potential in this, then you should get out of it and go find something that you love. If you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to put in the energy and the time that it needs to do extremely well. Business is just going to get more competitive over time, so don't waste it doing something that doesn't have longevity or something that you're not passionate about.
So how can people, aside from listing their site, let's assume people have a website, aside from listing it on these like Empire Flipper, how do people find the right brokers to work with to help sell their business?
Well, you just have to Google for them, research a lot of brokers like the FEInternationals or whatever they may be, hit them up and see if they can help you out. And if you can't sell it, that doesn't mean that you're stuck in the business. You can always find someone to run your business for you. If you put a CEO in place or a partner in place and give them some equity or percentage, that's cool. You can still make money, maybe not as much, but hey, you can still make money without having to be there day to day or run the business.
Great. I don't have anything else to add aside from the fact that We got good feedback from the network studios on how we should do this. So big ups to Mike. So we are on the track to 1 million downloads. And once we get to 1 million downloads in a 30-day period, we will do a party. No, we won't do just a party. We're going to do a conference, live conference for free that people offer thousands of dollars to go to. There's going to be food. It will be recorded for those of you that cannot attend. We just need to hit the 1 million. So what we need you to do is we need you to hit the share button or share, rate, review, subscribe this podcast. If you go to marketingschool.io/stats, you can see the progress. And we need your help pressing the buttons, helping us out, and we'll see you.
It really doesn't take you guys more than a few seconds. We do appreciate it. The more downloads we get, there's nothing in it for us. We do this podcast for free because we love it. Funny enough, it costs us money. Like, we pay the network studios, which is where we record. We pay people to edit. We pay Rev Content for the transcriptions. And even the event. Once we get to 1 million, we throw an event that's more expensive out of our pocket. And there's nothing to complain about on our
free money.
Yeah, we're happy to do this because you know what? Meeting you guys in person, it'll be fun. And as much as we're going to teach you guys about marketing, believe it or not, I know some of you guys won't believe this, but we also learn from you guys as well. Eric and I don't know everything out there.
All right, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.